Okay, now I gotta look at the letters. You could write the letters out like this. The A's and the A's, that's equal to 1, so that goes away. So what I have left is C squared over B. All right, so that's the end of section 4.5. Section 4.6 has to do with multiplying and dividing monomials. So if I have x to the fourth times x to the third, remember if the base numbers are the same, you just add the exponents. So that's x to the seventh. This can be done with numbers as well, because the base number is 2 here, so that's equal to 2 to the 7th power. If I have a c times a c cubed, don't forget that that's an understood 1. So it's 1 plus 3, or c to the 4th. Division, if the base numbers are the same, we subtracted the smaller number from the larger number. So I get 4 minus 3, which is 1, but the larger number is on the bottom. So I know I have an x, or an x to the first power on the bottom. If there's nothing left on the top, you have to put the 1 up there for a placeholder. Let's say I have r to the 11th over r to the 9th. 11 minus 9 is 2. It lands on the top because the largest exponent is on the top. So it's r to the second. If you want to put it over top of 1, you can do so, or you could just leave it r to the second. Section 4.7 had to do with negative exponents. So not a negative in front of it, but a negative on the exponent. The negative tells you to take it in the opposite position. So that, if you will, is on the top. I can get rid of the negative by moving it to the bottom. So n to the negative 2 power is equal to 1 over n squared. If I have a 1 over 2 to the negative second, I'm going to get rid of the negative by bringing it to the top. So I write 2 to the second, negative is gone. That's the same thing as 4. If I have 7 to the negative second, that means I put 1 over 7 squared, and it's equal to 1 over 49. If you have a parenthesis, you need to keep the parenthesis. So this is 1 over negative 4 to the third power, or negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, or negative 64. So I have 1 over negative 64. All right, that brings us to section 5.8, which was the last section, and that had to do with scientific notation. Remember, scientific notation is written as a number between 1 and 10, and then a power of 10. So you have to be able to go back and forth between your standard and your scientific. Remember, this is something that was put together by scientists so that they could write really big numbers or really small numbers. So let's say I have actually let me do that over here. Scientific notation, you have 2.9 times 10 to the negative third. If I have a negative 3, that means I'm going to make this number smaller. So I'm going to move that decimal 3 places to the left. And I'm going to end up having 0.0029 because I've moved it 1, 2, 3. I've got to put the decimal and add the zeros. Let's say I have this number, 7.045 times 10 to the fourth. Because that's a positive 4, I know I want to make this number bigger. So to do that, I'm going to move it to the right. So I have 70450. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's in standard form. Let's say I have 0.008, and I want to write it in scientific form. I have to change this to a number between 1 and 10, so I need an 8. So that needs to go 3 places. Now, it is going to be a -3 because this is a small number. If I have this number, really big number, I have to change it to a number between 1 and 10, so I have to put the decimal right there after the 4. So 4.571 times 10, and now I have to figure out it's going to be positive because this is a big number. So it's an understood decimal there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So times 10 to the 7th power. All right, so that covers the material in this chapter. So ideally on Thursday we'll come in, we'll review the homework that I'm about to give you, and then you'll take your test unless there's more questions or more problems on it. So page 191 through 194, 10 through 64, even.